Hey everybody, happy New Year's to everybody, man. Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, happy New Year's as well. Right? Hopefully everyone's having fun. Had fun last night. Had a good time. Being safe, everything like that. Hopefully that happened. Man, going into the new year, a lot of things are gonna happen. A lot of things are gonna be different. Um and hopefully during this new year, a lot of people get to live out the resolutions they have, get to see changes in themselves and changes with the things they do with business or whatever your dreams are, whatever you want to do. Um appreciate everybody supporting the channel, rocking with the channel. Again, my name's Isaiah Austin. Welcome back to the IDA Kings video production channel. um if you like the videos, hit the like button. If you like the channel, subscribe. Okay. uh Share, comment, post, things of that nature. If you want to know when I post and upload new videos, hit the bell notification up there as well. Overall, man, it's been great. When it comes to the year, sports has been wild. A lot of great things. A lot of teams have really did good. There were teams that um lost throughout the year that were shocking, obviously, like Penn State, for example. um Penn State, Texas has some ups and downs. LSU, Clemson, you know what I'm saying? Some shockers and stuff like that. Some disappointments. Some teams that came around, did some good stuff. Like Utah did some great things this year. Texas Tech, Oregon, OSU, Miami, and Miami's back and stuff. Indiana has been probably one of if not the biggest surprise of all year. You had James Madison and Tulane. You know, a lot of different teams in college football. The NBA has had some shockers like the Spurs. You know, um, the Spurs being a little shocking, stuff like that. Um, the Bulls started out well. That was shocking, and they started cooling off a little bit. The 76ers, just some different teams in the NBA. Cavs was dealing with injuries, so they had a little bit of a rough start. The Suns have been way better, and the Raptors have been way better than advertised as well. Way better. The Trailblazers had their ups and downs throughout the year, but they're playing better than people thought they were, especially Splitter being the head coach for right now. I think he's the interim, while Chauncey Billups was dealing with the gambling stuff. Football has been in the NFL has been crazy. I mean, the Bears went from being, the Bears have went from being the last team in the NFC North all the way to number one in the NFC North, and won the division. So, going down that road, I mean, a lot of wild stuff's been happening. Craziness has been happening. And all different type of sports. Hockey, I heard, it's been crazy. It's been hard for me to watch a game because I've been watching a lot of other games plus working. But hockey, I heard a lot of hockey has been great too. So overall, it's been crazy. College basketball has been wild. It's just been fun watching different things and seeing different things. Uh, Starting with college basketball, man, it's been crazy. I know before the new year hit, Virginia ended up upsetting Virginia. Virginia Tech ended up upsetting Virginia by 10 points in triple overtime. Just unbelievable stuff. VCU beat St. Bonaventure. Dayton ended up winning against Fordham. There was some heck of games. Clemson did a good job getting a win by 3 against Syracuse. Really good win. Uh, really good win for them. Um, Duke ended up getting a close win against Georgia Tech at home. Memphis got a win against North Texas. Memphis have played some tough teams, like some tough teams. I remember they played Vanderbilt, who I believe is still undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. UConn ended up beating Xavier 90-67. St. John's ended up getting a big win against Georgetown, their rivals, and stuff like that. Historically, a lot of big time games happened throughout the last few days and throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? North Carolina beating Florida State on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Big win right there. You know what I mean? Miami beating Pittsburgh at in Miami, South Florida. Some big games like that. Nebraska's still undefeated. They're having a real great year. They're a surprising team. Louisville and California played each other, but California still only has like 2 losses. I think they're like 12-2, and Louisville, I believe, is in that category too, 12-2 or something like that. They're having a real good year. St. Mary's overall is having a real good year as well. Getting some good wins. They beat Fresno State on Tuesday. A close game that was a little shocking in San Diego. Gonzaga only won by 6 points against San Diego, 99-93. High scoring game in college. Okay, stuff like that. High scoring game in college. Okay, a lot of big stuff happening. Pitt State has had some solid a solid year. Illinois is ranked 20. They're having a solid year as well. A lot of different teams. Iowa's really good. They're a real good team. They came into the top 25. They're a real good team. Florida, they had a tough schedule. They're riding the ship. They're ranked 22, riding the ship because that schedule is tough. Michigan has been a fantastic, undefeated. Them and Arizona have been fantastic this year. Michigan State's been great. Obviously, Vanderbilt and Georgia, they've also been good too. A lot of smaller schools too have been good throughout the year as well. You know what I'm saying? Really good teams like New Mexico State is 8-3. They've gone off to a solid start. USC's been great. They play on Peacock on Friday, January 2nd at 7 p.m. That's the one. Robert Morris has not been bad either. They're 10-5. Played a lot of games, 15 already. 15 games. Played some tough teams. Quinnipiac, I think that's the name. 10-4. Really been good, solid too as a smaller school and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? McNeese is 10-3. Have been solid. Liberty and Kennesaw State haven't been bad either. Stuff like that. Ohio State's been solid. They're 8-9-3. They've had some close losses. Close loss to Pittsburgh, close loss to Illinois, and a real close loss to North Carolina. Really close loss to North Carolina. Real close one. Iowa State's undefeated as well, playing against West Virginia on that Friday. You know what I mean? Gonzaga play Seattle U. This could be a close game too. Seattle U is 12-3. Gonzaga's 14-1. They had a close game with like I said before, they had a close game in their past game. So you never know. Michigan State on Peacock is playing Nebraska. That's going to be a heck of a game. Michigan State only has one loss to North Carolina. Great team, North Carolina. Duke. I'm sorry. Michigan State has a loss to Duke. And then Nebraska doesn't have a loss yet. That's going to be fun. LMU is 10-5. They play Washington State. Nebraska, St. Mary's is 13-2. Like I said, they've been great all year long. Notre Dame and California have been good. Like I said, California been good. Notre Dame's 10-4. So it's been pretty interesting. A lot of great games coming up. Like Saturday, Alabama plays Kentucky. Kentucky went through a rough patch, but they're riding the wave, trying to get better. VCU's 10-4. Butler and Villanova have not been bad at all. Okay, they've been Butler's 10-4. Villanova is 11-2. They've been solid. Clemson's been really great, right? They're 11-3. They've been really good. Went to the tournament, I believe, last year. Had a lot of people going from that tournament team, and they've been really good. Virginia Tech's been great, 12-2. A lot of great teams in college basketball, man. I'm talking about Georgia only has one loss. Texas Tech is 10-3. Oklahoma State's 12-1. A lot of great basketball being played. Kent State, school I went to, school that I went to, is 10-3. They're really good at basketball. So that's pretty exciting to see that. BYU only has one loss. They have been great. Kansas State has a good record, 9-4. Houston and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is still undefeated, while Houston is 12-1. Kansas is 10-3. I mean, there's been a lot of great basketball, man. Dayton's 10-4. BYU, Baylor, and TCU is 10-3, 10-2. They've been great. Also, seeing some of their games have been real good as well. Georgia Tech has been hanging in there with some of the games they played, especially hanging in there with Duke. And then Navy's been hanging in there too. They both are 9-5. Overall, man, it's been great. A lot of greatness has been happening. Nebraska plays Ohio State on Monday, January the 5th. That's going to be a fun one too in Columbus. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. So there's been a lot of great teams playing, a lot of great games coming on. A lot of great stuff happening. A lot of surprises with some of these teams. Overall, it's been surprises there. Surprises with different teams. Big time wins, shocking wins, things of that nature. Washington State's had a rough year though. They were close to losing against Portland. A lot of different teams uh, have been up and down. A lot of teams have had some great years. A lot of teams have had some ups and down years. But overall, it's been really really solid for them. Another situation um, has been great. A lot of shockers is the NBA. Like I said earlier, the NBA has been really really fun to watch. The Lakers have had a little stretch, a little rough stretch. Overall, um, start out hot. Austin Reeves is out for a month, if I'm not mistaken. Um, they played well against the Kings. Then they struggled against Houston and the Pistons. Um, Houston on Christmas, the Pistons. Um, the Pistons on, I believe, Tuesday. Um, defensively, they've had the rough moments the last few games and stuff like that. Um, so it's been tough dealing with a few injuries. So they're trying to fight through that, especially during this stretch. While they're still a top 5 seed in the NBA. Um, like I said, the Cavs have dealt with some injuries and stuff like that. So they're being careful with injuries and all that good stuff. The Nuggets, Jokic is out, I think for a month, at least. So they trying to stay afloat without him. Um, so Magic is coming back. They had a little rough start, but they came back and started doing their thing. The Knicks are doing good too at 23-10. Real good stuff, man. The Suns are a surpriser. 19-14 has some big wins. They have some wins against the Lakers. Some different wins, real good wins. Memphis has been up and down, and the Warriors have been up and down overall too. Those teams were supposed to be way better than what they are. You know what I'm saying? So, that's been tough. The Thunder has been as advertised. Greatness. Flat out can understand why they can win a championship. The Spurs have been fantastic as well. I know they lost a few games to, I believe Utah and the Cavs. But overall, man, they've been fantastic. Fantastic all the way through and through. The Timberwolves are 21-13. They've had some great moments, and then there were times where you're like, oh no, they lost the game. It should have been a loss, but overall, they've been good. The 76ers are coming back. They 3 games above 500. They're coming back. The Hawks, they're probably going to trade Trae Young. They look a little better probably without him. But overall, man, it's been tough for them this season. The Trailblazers are 14-20. The Hornets and the Bulls. The Bulls started out real well, and the 76ers did. There were teams that started out well, and they started taking a nosedive a little bit. The Bulls is one of those teams, 16-17. They took a nosedive, man. The Mavericks, they're 12-22. Anthony Davis got hurt on Christmas too, so they're gonna have a struggle all year with health. And Kyrie Irving, he doesn't come back until this month, I believe. So it's gonna be interesting. The Celtics have been really good without Jason Tatum, man. They've been really good without him overall. The Clippers started getting wins. They won against the Lakers one game. They won against I believe they beat Houston. They've won some games for sure. I think they own a 4-game win streak or something like that. They've been good. They've been really good the last few games, but they're 11-21. They're most likely not gonna make the playoffs. Michael Porter Jr. on the Nets have been fantastic. He's been balling on the Nets. Claxton, you already know, and they have some good pieces. The Bucks, well, the Kings are really bad too. They're 8-25. They're really horrendous. They need to make trades ASAP. The Bucks are one of those teams that's probably going to trade Giannis, man. They need to get that done. They need to get that over with. Need to hurry up and do that. You know what I mean? And I think the Raptors, like I said, have been real shocking. So they could be in play for different players like Giannis or Anthony Davis. So can't wait to see the Pacers dealing with injuries and having losing Miles Turner and then the Halliburton injury. They went down a lot of close games they've been in, but they lost. They're 6-28. Tough situation, but I think if they get the number 1 pick plus they get Halliburton back, they get more draft picks. I think they'll be back to where they were when it comes to a finals type team and stuff like that. The Pistons have been historically shocking too, 25-8. They've been shocking, really really great, man. They've been fantastic. The Pelicans have had a rough year too. Zion missed a lot of games. You know, Murray missed games. I think he still hasn't played, if I'm not mistaken. So trust me, it's been a lot going on. So I'm pretty, but the NBA's been good overall though. I love the NBA how they're playing hard, um, trying to play games. I think players try to play. I think, like I said, the coaches and the teams are sitting players out, especially players. Um, when some of the players are saying they're not even injured at all. So that's pretty interesting to me. So that's pretty interesting to me to see how that goes. See how the Lakers start pulling back. They play some teams that are a little bit, I guess you would say, easier. I know they played Memphis two times. I think they played the Pelicans. Now they do play the Spurs. That's going to be a great team, and then they play the Bucks, who've been up and down all year. So we'll see how that goes. Um, see how that goes. Other teams like can't wait to see how the Spurs and Thunder keep playing, producing. I want to see who makes trades. What teams make trades? What teams don't? Um, see what happens. The 76ers is a team that could be making trades and stuff like that too. Could be making trades and everything of that nature. Um, so that's another one that I'm looking forward to see. Like the Mavericks, all these different teams, man. Like the Kings, Memphis, the different teams like that need to probably really think about making trades and really think about um, making some big time trades and stuff like that. Um, but overall, that NBA's been great. College football's been flat out fantastic, flat out fantastic, flat out amazing, um, flat out special stuff. Overall, um, just flat out amazing stuff going on. The last few games have been crazy, have been amazing, have been um, flat out wild, flat out interesting and stuff like that, and flat out amazing. Um, Tuesday and before the New Year, man, TCU had a wild touchdown. Um, it was a 3rd and 20. Had a wild touchdown in overtime to get them that win um, against USC, who was ranked 16. TCU 30-27 final overtime. Man, Louisiana Tech had a really good game against Coastal. Illinois did a good job finding a way to pull out a 2-point win. Okay, find a way to pull out a 2-point win. Both quarterbacks did do a lot of great things, made a lot of great throws, and made a lot of good stuff happen in that game as well. Georgia Southern beat App State and stuff like that. Shut them down and stuff like that as well. Um, you know what I'm saying? So it was that was a good game from them as well. Um, Another great game. Texas ended up beating Michigan. It was a close game. Then Michigan started turning the ball over, and then Texas started getting some scores, and then the game was over. Iowa had a big win against Vanderbilt. Okay, these games were wild. Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl was won by Illinois, obviously, and then the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl was won by Louisiana Tech. Um, and the Valero Alamo Bowl was won by TCU. Okay, and then Iowa, man, did a great job against Vanderbilt and the Arilla Quest Bowl, flat out amazing. And then Utah destroyed Nebraska. It was shocking how bad, but also they didn't have Raiola, right? And I think he's in the portal. And Utah, Dampier, who knows, he might leave as well. The SRS distribution Las Vegas Bowl, Utah dominated them. Duke in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. That was a fun game between Duke and Arizona State. High scoring, high offense, great plays all over the field on offense. Duke ended up getting a 3-point win, getting up out of there and stuff like that. But the biggest game of the whole weekend in a really competitive game throughout was the quarterfinal of the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, the Classic. Okay. The rematch, Miami got up, pounced on them 14-0. They had a pick six after Jeremiah Smith had a legendary catching a legendary throw, 60-yard throw by Sand, got it to Jeremiah Smith. Then I think a play or two later, he threw a pick six. The defender read it perfectly, and they'll go up 14-0. But then Ohio State came back. They forced them to 3 points in the second half. At the time, it was 17-14. Okay, but then all of a sudden Miami ended up getting the late touchdown to win the game. Shout out to Miami, man. They got a big win against the defending champs, 24-14. Close game at the time. I know they scored that late touchdown, but it was a close game. Real good, hard fought game, fun game, and that leads to everything that's gonna happen. Saturday. That leads to everything that's going to happen. That's going to lead to everything that's happening, for the new year on Thursday. Okay? At 12 p.m., Oregon, 12-1 versus Texas Tech. There's going to be a big one. That's going to be a great game in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Alabama versus Indiana in the Rose Bowl. Okay? And then Ole Miss versus Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. That's going to be fun games right there. That's a triple header on ESPN starting at 12 p.m. today. It's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. By the time this video come out, them games are going to be the games are going to be playing. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be fun. Going to be fun games. Going to be entertaining games. Just like that Miami and Ohio State game was entertaining. Just like the other bowl games have been, especially the last few ones, Tuesday and Wednesday. Oh my goodness, they've been fantastic. Fantastic. Ah man, I'm excited. Cannot wait. Been great. But another games have been great too is the NFL. Okay, the NFL has been fantastic, right? The Cowboys were in a close game with the Commanders on Christmas. They ended up getting a win on that Thursday. The Vikings shut out and put the Lions out of the playoff hunt, winning 23-10. The Broncos ended up getting a real clutch win to stay in that one seed against the Chiefs, 20-13. Saturday was crazy. Texans ended up beating the Chargers. That knocked out the Colts. Okay, that knocked out the Colts, and the Texans are still alive against the Jaguars, okay, to win the division, the AFC South. The Ravens stayed alive against the Packers to win the the AFC North, okay? They stayed alive. They ended up, Derrick Henry was legendary, King Henry for a reason. He King Henry, Big Dog Henry. You understand? He King Henry. He had I think he had over 200 yards on almost 40 carries, man. Freaking amazing stuff. Legendary, man. Averaging 5 to 6 yards a carry. Just flat out amazing. This game was shocking, though. I'm going to tell y'all something was crazy, okay? Myles Garrett had a chance to get the sack record. He was real close to getting it. The way the Steelers played, I started noticing it after the first half. The first quarter, I'm like, this look a little odd. The second quarter, it confirmed. It seemed like they were playing to make sure he didn't get that sack record. Okay, and they didn't play loose. They played tense on offense. The Browns defense was on fire too. I gotta give them credit for that. But the Steelers could have did way better offensively. They could have did way better offensively, and they didn't. Only registering 6 points. Shedeur Sanders played way better than Aaron Rodgers. One pick you can argue wasn't on him. There was another pick he threw. Jared Jeudy was open. He saw him late. He saw him. He was looking around. He saw him. He tried to yank that ball over there. That's hard to do. Okay. You don't want to throw it back. If you're running to the right, you don't want to throw it back to the middle or to the opposite side. That's rare. Most quarterbacks historically can't do that. Okay. That's a rare thing to do. Okay. If you go to the left, you don't want to throw it back to the middle or throw it to the right hand side. That's just rare. You don't want to do that. But other than that, he played better than than Aaron Rodgers. Shedeur has been has some ups and downs, just like Dillon Gabriel have. But I think both those quarterbacks, when you put a better roster around them, the offensive line and stuff like that, I think they both could be real great. I think both of them will be special in the NFL. So I just think the Browns, they need to they need a new coaching staff. I think they need a coaching staff, but they also need they just need better the offensive line to be more healthier. The run game I think will be fine, and I think the receivers need to be better. Like Jared Jeudy got to stop dropping passes. They need better receivers as well. I think the defense is going to be fine too. I think their D line is good. I think they can shore up that secondary. They got good linebackers and stuff like that. So I think they got the pieces to be a really good football team in the future for sure. They need better coaching. They probably need a new head coach for sure. So yeah, that's a whole different ballgame. Overall though, the Browns end up getting a big win against the Steelers. The Steelers choked away an opportunity to win the division. Okay. Crazy part is there was a pass that you could say that was a pass interference. Both there were missed calls all throughout that game for the Browns and the Ravens. Missed calls all crazy. So I think the refs got to be better and they got to be punished. But there was something crazy on that play, that last play that was that the refs missed the pass interference on. The ball was this close, so you could argue pass interference, or because sometimes they really don't be calling that a lot. Like they'll call it, but I've seen them miss that all year. So it all depends. It's hit or miss. But he missed a wide open underneath throw that could have led to a touchdown. He puts it on him, that could have been a touchdown. He missed. He just went straight, and he went at Ward 3 times straight. That's bad move, man. You don't go at Ward like that 3 times straight. It was bad, man. Just bad moves right there. The Patriots end up getting a big win against the Jets. The Saints end up getting a real big win against the Tennessee Titans, 34-26. The Jaguars, they needed this win. They got to win. Now they need one more win against, I believe, the Titans. But that Titans team going to make it tough on them. Like how the Browns made it tough for the Steelers. To win the division, Jaguars need one more win. If they don't, then the Texans will win the division. The Dolphins they beat the Buccaneers. So they're in a tough situation. Seattle beat the Panthers. Bengals beat the Cardinals. Okay. The Giants ended up destroying the Raiders, man. This game was close. The game was clutch, though. This one was clutch. The Eagles were up, if I'm not mistaken, 13-0 at half, if I'm not mistaken. The Bills ended up getting 12 points. The Eagles, I don't even think, they barely had any yards. I don't even know. They only had like 7 yards passing, if I'm not mistaken. And they found a way to win the game. That's how crazy this was. Their defense was great. And the offense stayed afloat. And they won the game. It was some unbelievable stuff. Crazy stuff. It historically rarely happens. So it was something wild. The Eagles have a Super Bowl winning defense. Their offense gets going. Man, they're going to be fantastic, man. They're going to be great. So the 49ers had a big clutch win against the Bears. The Bears came back, made it a real close game. Was this close again, tutty at the end. But again, the 49ers got a big win. Now they're playing the Seahawks this upcoming week on Saturday for the NFC West Division and for the number 1 seed. This is going to be fun. I can't wait. That's going to be fun. A big shocking upset is the Falcons beating the Rams. The Falcons was beating them 21-0. Was giving them a butt whooping. Was giving them an old school butt whooping. It was 21-0 at half. All of a sudden, it ended up being 27-24. Some late things. I think the Puka Nacua made a great catch. They said it was incomplete. And then, but then they missed a pass interference call. Another one. They missed a pass interference call. So it was unbelievable and crazy. That game was wild. But there's some games coming on Saturday, man. Starting Saturday. Gonna be unbelievable wild, man. Panthers, Buccaneers for the division, or this is a real serious situation. If the Panthers lose, but Atlanta beats, I believe, the Saints, the Panthers will win the division. That's gonna be crazy. So the Buccaneers need to win the game at 4:30 p.m. on the ABC, and they need Atlanta to lose. If that does not happen, the Panthers with a loss can still make and will make the playoffs. That's gonna be unbelievable. So, but the Panthers can win and go 9-7 and 9-8 and not have to worry about it. 49ers playing the Seahawks in California on ABC for the NFC West division and for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Now, if the 49ers win this, they will have a path all the way to the Super Bowl is in San Francisco. They won't have to play outside of San Francisco for the whole playoffs if they win this. They already been in San Francisco last week. They're in San Francisco this week. They won't have to go nowhere outside of San Francisco the rest of the way if they win this. So this is a big one for the 49ers. Also a big one for Seattle. You want your home games all the way until you get to San Francisco. That's gonna be fun, man. Can't wait. Okay, another game. Texans versus Colts. This is a big one. The Texans need to win this game on Sunday. The Cowboys versus Giants. They play on 1 p.m. Myles Garrett is going for the sack record. He's going for the big time sack record at 1 p.m. against the Bengals. I can't wait to see that part of history. Okay. Falcons are trying to get a win against the Saints, who are 6-10. Falcons could go 8-9. Okay. Packers and Vikings. The Packers are locked into the 7th seed. They're trying to get 10 wins. The Vikings are trying to just, spoil their 10-win season. Tennessee versus Jaguars. This is big. Tennessee is trying to spoil the Jaguars' chances of winning that division. The Cardinals play against the Rams. The Rams need that win, but I think they need a Seattle loss too to be a 5th seed. Or a Seattle win to be a 5th seed. If they don't and Seattle wins, they will be the 6th seed. And trust me, there's a big difference between that. The Panthers or the Bucks could be a 4th seed, and the 3rd seed is either the Eagles or the Bears. Okay, the two different situations. But the Rams already did lose to the Panthers, so gotta be careful what you wish for as well. Okay, Chargers play against the Broncos. Chargers are not playing Justin Herbert. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The Broncos are trying to stay the number 1 seed. Okay, the Chiefs, they play the Raiders. Dolphins, the Patriots play against the Dolphins. They're trying to still get the 1 seed, have a chance still. The Eagles are 11-5. They're trying to be the 3rd seed if they can against the Commanders. The Lions are trying to beat the Bears, force them into the 3rd seed. The Eagles are trying to get to the 2nd seed, and the Bears are trying to get the 2nd seed too. That's a race to the 2nd. Okay, the Bills play against the Jets, and then this one's going to be the big one. This one's going to be the one that's huge. Steelers versus Ravens. Whoever wins this game is going to the NFL playoffs as the AFC North representative. I am excited. It's going to be fun on NBC. This game I'm looking forward to on Sunday. I can't wait. I'm staying up. I don't care how late it get. I'm staying up for this one, baby. I'm staying up for this one. I really am. I am excited. I cannot wait. That's going to be a fun game. Aaron Rodgers, hopefully against Lamar. We'll see if Lamar plays. But overall, man, this year has been great. New Year's resolutions, man, for me is trying to be in the best shape possible. Also, trying to, get my channel big, make as much money as possible and spend time with family, man. That's the goal. Help, be the type of man that tries to help my people out, make myself better, then I can make everyone else better. That's the goal for me. That's my New Year's resolution, man. Learn different things, learn about different things like, investments, saving, building things, all type of stuff. Keep learning. That's another goal, is to keep learning, keep improving, keep growing my mind as best I can. So I'm pretty excited about everything. I believe 2026 is going to be great. There's some years I thought would be good. And there's some years that have been good, though. And there have been some years I'm like, dang, this has been a rough year. But 2026, I really believe it. I really believe it's going to be one of the best years I've ever had in my life. Okay. If not the best, one of the best for sure. And I'm pretty excited about it. Happy New Year's. Be safe out there, man. Again, welcome back to the channel. It's going to be fun from here on out. I really appreciate y'all. All right. Y'all have a good one. Peace.